All right, Blue Devils, welcome back to another Friday for our Campus Live Zoominar, where you get all updates on campus life, any questions answered about COVID-19, and also updates from some of our amazing campus partners. Today, we are excited to have with us, as always, Dr. Bullard, who will provide any high-level updates. He'll tell us what's happening with COVID in the community. We're also really excited to have with us today two of my favorite folks to work with on campus, Miss Reeves, who is our Director of Retention, and she works in the Academic Center for Excellence at University College, and also Mr. Mitchell, who's our University Registrar and everybody's favorite person. So today we'll be talking about advising, registration, preparing for the summer, all those good things you should be doing right now, and then we'll have a few updates for you. So we will start off. Who wants to go first? Mr. Mitchell, Miss Reeves, you have a preference?
Go ahead, Robert.
Well, good afternoon, students. Thank you to my colleagues across the way. I'm coming from you live with the colors, the White House in Rosenwald Hall. But it is indeed a great honor and privilege to be able to talk to you today, to talk about some things that we want to help coach you on as you matriculate through your DU blueprint. One of the things that we want to talk about is the importance of understanding your academic curriculum and where that information is located. That information is located on MyDU under your degree audit, but you can also access your academic catalog under the website as well, so that you can review your academic curriculum and make sure that you're on track to graduate. One of the toughest part about my job is having to inform students that they're not graduating. A lot of times students are not graduating for a few things. One, they haven't taken the required courses to graduate. Two, they haven't taken convocation or FYS again, or haven't taken it at all. Three, they haven't been successful in other courses. So we want to do our job by assisting you with not being one of those students in that number who have not done what they need to do for graduation. I hate to send those emails out, but it's a part of my job. And I can tell you every time I send those emails out or have conversations, I have to have conversations with parents and have conversations with other individuals, and it's the same question. What is it that we can do so my son or daughter can graduate? By the time it gets to my desk, there's nothing that I can really do to assist you in many cases, but we will do our very best to assist you. But I don't want to send those emails to you. I don't want you to have that feeling in your stomach of how I'm going to explain to my parents or my family and friends that I'm not going to graduate and walk down the Avenue of Oaks when I had planned on walking down the Oaks at a certain period of time. To prevent from doing that, you need to make sure that you are taking care of your responsibility with reviewing your academic curriculum and your catalog and asking the question to your academic advisor. Advising is a two-way street. So it is just not the advisor's responsibility to tell you what you need to take. It is also your responsibility to be on point of what you need to take. The advisor's role is to assist you with making sure that these courses are offered. These courses are, if you have questions about these courses, what general electives I should take, right? Why should I take these general electives if I'm a psych major? For example, film is a major that has over 30 general electives. Well, what general elective should I take? Should I go for a minor? Should I think about interning in this? I think about doing this in grad school. That's where the advisor and career services come in to assist you when making those decisions. But the catalog is already written. And I will say this on this Zoom call. If someone tells you to take something that is not in your catalog, you need to challenge them respectfully and say, well, the catalog is saying this. Why are you saying for me to take this? There could be a situation where there may be a typo and those things can be resolved. It could be a situation where the curriculum may have changed. So for example, if you came in the fall of 2019 and there was a new curriculum introduced in the fall of 2020, there may have been some change in the curriculum and the advisor is saying, well, no, because we changed the curriculum, I want you to take this. Those conversations need to be had. We just want to do whatever we can to make sure that you graduate in your time that you're here at Dillon University, that your experience is a great experience. But I don't want you to have the sour taste in your mouth not graduating because of someone saying, well, oh, I was misadvised or no one told me. Which leads me to my next point. Check your emails. It is imperative that you read your emails. The There's some seniors, I took over 70 students off the graduation list just recently. That's a large number. That's not a number that we are proud of, but I'm telling you this number because I don't want you to be a part of that 70 moving forward. We took 70 students off the graduation list. A large percentage of those students indicated to me that no one told me. Well, then I pushed back from them and said, well, I sent out emails, and I was able to pull up at least 5 emails that I sent in the past year. Within the first paragraph, all of them said, please check your degree audit. Please check your degree audit. And there was a hyperlink to your degree audit. So the notion of that no one told you is false. It's a matter of having that responsibility to make sure that you're reading your email and taking those 3 seconds, 30 seconds, or a few minutes just to click on your audit and to ask the necessary questions. Let's be clear, no one is perfect, which is where your academic advisor comes in to assist you with this. If you're not being properly advised, what I mean by properly advised, what I mean by that is having a conversation, sitting down with your academic advisor, and they are saying, hey, have you done this? Have you done this? Have you done that? Then you need to inform us so that we can correct that issue moving forward so that you won't be a part of those individuals who may be removed from the graduation list. So with that, I'm going to give you my contact information. Is my direct email is rvmitchell@dillard.edu. If you email registrar@dillard.edu, you get everyone in my office and someone will respond accordingly. And the office number is 504-816-4705. We will do our very best to respond to you within 24 business hours to adhere to your questions. And there's no such thing as a dumb question, right? Every question is important. But we are essentially your human resources to help you guide you through your blueprint, which is the degree plan through Dillard University, MyDU. And if there's something wrong on your degree audit, by all means, please let us know so that we can look at your degree audit and make the necessary changes to assist you with that. And with that, I turn it over to Mrs. Reeves. And Dr. Courtney, thank you for allowing me to be here. And also with Dr. Bullitt, thank you very much.
Thanks so much for joining us, Mr. Mitchell. Mrs. Reeves, the floor is all yours.
I am actually just going to keep expanding on what Mr. Mitchell said. Just I want to make sure that you guys know where to find this stuff. So there's a link for your audit on in the email that Mr. Mitchell is talking about, but there's also a place for it on MyDU. So if you go to MyDU, go under the registration tab, you would be able to see it. You can also see your unofficial transcript. This is what I try to tell all of my first year students. You are responsible to make sure that you are also keeping up with what classes you've taken, what grades you've made in those classes, any prerequisite courses that you need in order to take another class. So how can you do this, right? Dr. Courtney, if it's okay with you, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen just so that we can kind of cover that. Okay. So I am, give me 1 second. And I know that you guys have gone over this, but maybe in your first year seminar, but maybe you forgot, maybe you were in your first year and now you're in your third year and it's a little bit more important to you at this point. So I just wanted to take a minute to kind of show you guys. So right now we're going to pull up this. So all that I did to find this information was I went to Google because that's the easiest way to do it. You Google Dillard University Academic Catalog. So it will bring you to this page where you'll see 2019, 2021, but some of you guys might be in 2017, 2019. So if you are a graduating senior, a junior, you guys will be in this catalog. I think even sophomores, you transition to 2019 here. So you would go ahead and you would click in there, and then you would go to programs, degrees, and courses. From here, you would go and find your major. Maybe you need to find your minor requirements because those of you who are signed up to have a minor, you need to make sure that you've completed all of those courses as well. So I will use criminal justice. So I would click on criminal justice because that's my major. And then I would go through, and what I like to tell my students to do is I want you guys to print this out, keep a folder, for your advising appointments. Every time you have an advising appointment, you should take notes. Write down, what you talked about. This folder should go with you each year. Each semester you go to visit your advisor, you jot down a few notes about what you talked about so that you can remember. Sometimes your advisor will give you a sheet with classes on it and then ask you to sign. And then they will sign. And that is your contract to say, we discussed what classes we needed to take. But you guys can also keep track on this curriculum grid. So what I like to tell my students is to highlight through once you've completed a class and made the grade that you needed to make. You would highlight that in any color except for yellow. So the yellow highlighter is saved for classes you are currently taking. So say I completed English 111, 101, I completed psych, sociology, but I didn't complete my math my first semester. But I'm going to take that my second semester. So I would highlight everything else in orange and then highlight that math in yellow to know that I'm taking it. And then what I would also do is write the grade that I made next to it. Because what this will do is have a reference for you if you needed a C in that class. So English, in order to move on to the next one, you need at least a C. If you didn't have a C, then you will need to retake it. So these are a couple of easy ways to kind of keep track of that. If you ever forget what you made, maybe you don't remember, you go to My DU, go under the transcript. That is an easy and quick reference way to find out previous grades. So even those of you who may not have already kept this record for yourselves, maybe you're in your sophomore year, your third year, you can go in and make this for yourself and just double check your junior audit, right? Or your sophomore year, make sure going into your third year, if you're behind on some of your credits, maybe you want to take a summer class to catch up a little bit. So these are just some quick reference ways to talk about it. Also, what we talk about in our first year with our first year students, and want to remind you guys, your advisor should be someone that you feel comfortable going to. You should feel comfortable asking questions. If you have questions about your catalog that maybe wasn't very clear in the conversation with your advisor, the registrar's office, Mr. Mitchell's office, is another great resource. They're there to help you. If you're still a first year student with us, please come in and chat with us. We love to answer questions. I also just really like to see y'all's faces because I don't see a lot of y'all right now. So come in and ask that question. I'm trying to make sure. Last big reminder for me is we are coming up on registration time. So you're going in for your advising appointment. So you guys should be looking out for an email from your advisors. Some of your advisors, hopefully most, will be using the EAB Navigate system. So if you've not already downloaded Navigate Student app, you will use that app to make an appointment with your advisors in your area. Some of your advisors will also email you a link that then you can press on that link in your email, and it will send you to schedule an appointment with that advisor. So once you are preparing for your advising, you also want to check on your holds. If you have a hold with business and finance, make sure that you go and take care of that as soon as possible. You can still be advised if you have a hold, because you'll also have an advising hold. But you want to make sure that you try to resolve any holds that you have prior to registration dates. And I want to remind you guys about registration dates. As of right now, it's March 23rd for seniors and honor students, March 24th for juniors and athletes, and March 25th for first year students or sophomores. The first year students transitioning into their sophomore year. So you guys need to be aware of those dates. Make sure that you take care of any holds prior to that. I'm going to also put in the chat who you need to go to if you're unaware of your counselor. If you have a business and finance hold and your last name begins with A through M, you will go to Miss Anitra Johnson. If you have a business and finance hold and your last name begins with N through Z, you will talk to Miss Rhonda Creighton. These offices are located in Rosenwald on the first floor. They are also available via email. Both of them are very responsive. So if you have questions about that, I will also link your financial aid counselor as well. Maybe you need to talk about scholarships. Your balance was really high. Make that appointment with them. Ask them about any opportunities you have to not have a balance and to possibly have your tuition and fees covered. We want to try to work on that as well. I will send that information and I'll ask Dr. Courtney to also share that and send that out just as a quick reminder. I know that Mr. Mitchell sends it out, but you can't have too many reminders about where to go, because you don't want to get in a situation where you're like, dang, I have a hold and I don't know who to talk to or where to go. So we want to make sure that you have that option and that information as well. But I think that that's it. The holds, registration. If you have any questions, I'm here to answer them.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Reeves. This is really valuable information, everyone. So make sure that you are paying attention to what we dropped in the chat. Like Mrs. Reeves said, I will also send this information out. It'll be coming out on Monday, along with the guidelines for what we'll be doing on campus, since we are moving into phase 3 today. So this is very exciting for the city of New Orleans. We're excited about it on campus. And so we will have updates for all things campus life, and that will come out on Monday morning. So be on the lookout for that. Last and certainly not least today, we will hear from Dr. Bullard, who will provide us with any updates that he has around COVID or any general updates. So, Dr. Bullard.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I hope you all are well. I wanted to touch base, and I always am excited to be here with you all. And I just want to thank our panelists, other panelists, Mrs. Reeves, Mr. Mitchell, for coming and chatting with us today. Very, very briefly, I just want to say again, and I try to say each week, how proud I am of our work on COVID-19. I am extremely proud to report that we had 0 cases for infection this week, 0 cases for infection, which is awesome. And that's where we want to stay. And so this means that folks are doing good work. We're masking. I only ask that you not let your foot off the gas just yet. We really want to keep it going and ensure that we make it through. I know I've got some seniors on here who want to have a graduation and commencement ceremony. And so everything that we can do to ensure that we stay as safe as we can will be important. That being said, I wanted to mention that I know that we're having some conversation and on the mayor has moved us to phase 3. I do want folks to start thinking about the vaccine. I know that we've been mentioning it each week, but we're in a time now where a lot of the different offices, a lot of the different entities are providing the vaccine to folks around the country. Yesterday, the president had a press conference. President Biden had a press conference where essentially he said that he's ordering the vaccine to be available to all American citizens who are 18 and over. That includes 99% of the folks at Dillard. And so we really do want to encourage you now to really think about getting the vaccine. And so if you see an opportunity to do that, please go do it. Now, what I have done is I've reached out to a couple of our partners in the community who have said that they're actually going to seek to help us bring the vaccine to the Dillard campus and allow us to actually get vaccinated here, maybe in the PSB lobby or the union or something like that. And if we can do that, then I think that will be 10 times better. And so as I get more information about that, I will provide that. but your local CVS pharmacy, Ochsner, a lot of the different areas, Daughters of Charity, which is right there on campus, all of those entities have the vaccine at this time. And so there are places that you can go and get it. Now, some of you have asked about the fall semester. We have not gone as far as to say that we're going to require it for students to return in the fall, but that's an active conversation, I think, for all colleges and universities. And so I want to be completely honest about that with you right now, because it is a real conversation that even if we do not require it for commuter students, I feel pretty confident that it will be something that we will consider, quote unquote, mandatory for our students who live on campus and in the residence halls. And so that is a decision that we'll make probably in the next month or so. But we do want you to kind of have a heads up that this is what we're thinking about. You certainly can reach out to me if you have thoughts or questions about that. But I do want to be sure that when we come back in the fall, we can go back to as close to normal as we possibly can. And we believe that one of the ways to do that is for as many of us to get vaccinated as we possibly can. I'm really proud to know that as many as 60% of our faculty and staff, who are our most vulnerable population, that they've already gone out and gotten the vaccine. And so that means that they are, they are protected to a high degree from the virus. And so that's just another one of those steps in a positive direction. So that being said, I just want to make sure you have all of those pieces. So again, continue to do all the things you've been doing. Mask, wash your hands, social distance, continue to do those things. However, I can see a light at the end of the tunnel. And I think if we continue to do what we've been doing and we get vaccinated when the time comes, I think we will be in good shape and be able to sort of go back to some sense of normalcy come fall semester. So Dr. Courtney, that's all I have.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Buller. So now we will open the floor for any questions. So if you have questions right now about anything that we've talked about today or anything in general, go ahead and drop those in the Q&A box and we will answer those pretty quickly before we log off for the day. Again, questions about anything that we can answer. Now's your time. If you are wondering what you can do this weekend, there's so many things happening on campus. So we sent out an email this morning with several things. There's a lot of things going on today. Make sure you drop by Georgia's Auditorium and PSB this afternoon. Find out who will be nominated to be your future campus leaders for the Royal Court and the Student Government Association. If you're looking for something to do right now, we're about to be outside at Kabakoff. The Black Voters Matter bus is pulling up. They've got some free giveaways for you all. Royal Court is doing a pop-up pantry, all types of fun things. This evening, DU Pride is hosting the Queer Love panel. So that will definitely be something interesting that you all should check out. On Sunday, we'll be partnering with the chapel to talk about sexuality in the Black church. There is a hip hop dance class tonight in the Student Union dance studio. So many things. So make sure you are taking advantage of all these opportunities. We do not see any questions in the chat or the Q&A box. Any final thoughts from my panelists?
No, just to say, if you need us, we're here. We hope you have a great rest of the semester. Great job on midterm. So knock out the rest of the semester and do well.
Everybody have a great weekend. And if you do have questions, as always, you can send them to us. Like I said, on Monday, we will send out a revised plan of action for phase 3 here on campus. We will include the information that Mrs. Reeves just dropped in the chat box. And I will also include the campus contact list. I had a few people to ask me about that or say, hey, who do I contact about Wi-Fi? Or who do I contact about this? So I will send that document out again as well. So That's it for us. Thank you all for attending. Y'all have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.